living in the now, smelling every rose on the path of the Dow. Find me in the smoke clouds with a whole pound. Mind space bound and I won't slow down. Grow like a vine in the earth. These lines be defining my worth.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the Path Less Traveled. How are all my travelers doing today? Okay, great. So today I kind of wanted to talk about, I don't know if I should necessarily call it a heavy topic. It's a very serious topic, but it shouldn't be heavy. So today's topic is self-love, and I would like to start that off really by just telling you a little bit about my past self-image and basically how I am trying my hardest to better what I used to be and what I am and what I'm trying to be. It's three different stages, but we're basically going to start off with where I used to be. And, okay, let's get it to. So, basically, I used to see myself as, I don't even know if I necessarily saw myself, if you could say that. People say, oh, you're so pretty, or you're so smart, you're so funny, you know how to talk to people, you get good grades, you know how to do this and that. I didn't know what any of that meant as a fundamental thing. Like, oh, I'm pretty. Is that me? But then again, when I looked in the mirror, was it pretty that I saw? Not necessarily. I mean, I do now, but not necessarily. So, even then, like, see what I just did there. I literally cover insecurities with fake, false confidence. So, like, when people would compliment me, I had no idea how to handle it. I had one of few ways. I would just very nicely say, "Oh, thank you," or I would make a joke out of it. Or I'd just be like, I know I am. I'm so cute. I mean, look at me. Would you expect something different? Like, but I never accepted the compliment. So I never accepted the compliment, I guess. Like, I don't know. I had no idea why people would be so nice to me, because I was not nice to people at all. Like, I wasn't. I used to say all the time, I'm not funny, I'm just mean, and people think I'm joking. And it wasn't even like I would try to be mean. And I still actually gotta work with this. I know a lot now. I am abrasive. I push people away. I've always pushed people away, but back then I would definitely say that I didn't know anything about what was going on with me, and I was probably really reflecting a lot of the inner stuff I felt onto everybody else. And by the way, if you knew me back then, I am so sorry. I was a horrible person, but I'm a lot better now. Not saying that that's any kind of automatic forgiveness, but apologies. So I guess when I pushed people away, it was more so like I was a huge loner. Like, even in my family, I was a loner. Like, when it came to school, I had my group of friends. In middle school, I always had my group of friends. In high school, I had my group of friends, but it was not like the it crowd. It wasn't like I had all these different friends. It was like I got like 5 friends. I hang out with 5 people. That's it. I'm cordial with everybody. I was gonna say nice. I'm not nice. I'm cordial with everybody, but I hung out with 5 people in school. That was it, man. But even in the house, family would just be doing family things, and I'm gonna go watch TV, or I'm gonna go upstairs in my room and read a book, or it was never. I don't know. It was never really. I guess I used to think that no one wanted me enough to be a part of anything. It was so much so that I thought everybody just didn't fuck with me, that I didn't realize that people were trying to fuck with me. I just, nope, fuck you. I don't want to talk to you. But it was just like, so I just thought that everyone hated me, and I had no idea why. And it wasn't just F well because you hate me. I mean, I shouldn't have said I had no idea why. It made a lot of sense. I thought everyone hated me because I hated me. So that made a lot of sense. Home and or school life was different. And I'm not gonna say different as in it was completely separate from everyone else's experience, because it's not in a whole bunch of sense. I'm sure a whole bunch of people can relate to what I'm saying. I had, it's so weird to say because it's like, can you, okay, so I would have what you would call an abusive father, but I never, it's only now that I got older and I started to tell back people stories about childhood, and people be like, well, damn, that was a little mean, don't you think? But people would just not laugh at like the funny memory I brought up, and I was just like, oh, was that fucked up? And they're just like, yeah, that was just a little bit. But it didn't take till I realized that like I had completely skewed my head of everything that was happening, that I couldn't see what was happening. And then I had even went through a whole phase where I was just like, okay, cool, it's the anger phase, let's just get through the anger, just like it was his fault. But it's like now I can sit back and look at everything as a whole, and you can probably blame F is for family, I don't know, but it's just, you can really see if you try and put yourself in someone else's shoes. Like, I am so fucked up, and I know I'm fucked up because of everything that has happened in my life to make me this fucked up. So wouldn't it be logical to assume the next person is just as fucked up? Like, if you were a person who saw yourself in every single person, you would assume that they're going through the same type of life battles that you are. So, I mean, and everyone knows that's false, but still, that's what your ego does. Your ego's been like, well, they're not better than me, so they must be going through the same shit. So if that's true, why can't you give them the same benefit of the doubt you give yourself? So in that sense, that's where I'm at with my family, my familial life, because it was borderline abusive, but I have forgiven and gotten through everything I needed to get out of it. No bad blood with anybody in my family, actually. And I believe I'm a better person for it. I'm not saying, I guess what I'm saying is if I were to go back, I don't think I would do anything all that different, except I'd probably be a lot nicer to me and others. But, hey. Oh, fuck, school. Oh, I forgot about this. I found out when I was like 20 that I've had learning disabilities. And that made so much sense on my school life, because from preschool through middle school, I was pretty okay. I was pretty good. Well, like, I say middle school because, like, I went to a charter school, so it was literally K through 8. So right around 4th grade. So from K through kindergarten to 4th grade, I was like a model student, like just smart. And my only problem with teachers was that I was always talking too much, and I would just, I get distracted so easily. But everyone was just like, well, she's lazy. Because, like, I mean, yeah, I wasn't like the runaround type of person, but what no one knew is that I had ADHD. And people don't know is that in females, it's not the hyper little boy drug that it is. In females, it actually does the opposite. It makes you kind of lethargic, flitty. People call you lazy a lot, because it's not that you're lazy, it's just that things are happening so much, and it's just, at one point you get anxiety from trying to do it, and it's just like, I don't know if the anxiety comes from the ADHD or the anxiety comes from the penalties that come with failing that I had because of how I was taught in school. Like, when it came to my college level of life, I was, school had ruined me. I could not. By the time I was like a year and a half in, I remember I was driving to school. I had a math class, and it was a really, really hard one. And as I'm driving there, I'm just trying to get myself in the headspace. I'm just talking to myself like, hey, it's just math. You can do it. You know, you got this. I get in the parking structure of Oakland Community College, and start having a full-blown panic attack. And I'm scared because it's not like the first time I've ever had a panic attack, but it's just the first one I've had while I'm behind the car, and the suicidal thoughts are starting to come in. And that scared me because it was like, I know how my suicidal thoughts are. They're quick and fast, and then I get ashamed. So me being in a car, like behind a wheel, it terrified me to get that quick strike. Like, what if just like that. So when I was in there, I realized like, hey, you're at a level you've only ever really been at once in high school. So it was just like, all right, after high school, I was like, I didn't want to go back to that place. So I sat there in the car, and I called the suicide hotline, and I'm talking to them, and literally as I'm talking, I am laughing and crying because I hear how juvenile I sound to this woman who, in her mind, she is trying to stop me from taking my life, when in my mind I'm trying to explain to her like how sorry and scared I am for like having the thought again. And I was just like, it's just a class. Like, I was like, it's just a class. It should not have me like this. And the lady finally gets me to stop, like, laugh, sobbing, choking. I don't know. It was, if you ever heard me laugh, you know it was not a pretty sound. So she gets me to stop. I calm down enough to go inside the school. I'm walking. I'm basically like in a trance, and I'm walking, and I'm just keep telling myself like, it's okay. It's just math class. You can do it. It's fine. Man, I get up to that door. Right. I get to the door, right? My whole entire body shuts down, and I can't walk inside, and I'm just shaking. And I look at my teacher, and my teacher, he knows that I'm like, I've talked to him about how I am with math. I told him like, I have ADHD. I am dyslexic. This got numbers, letters, and like decimal points, fucking fractions. There's a goddamn triangle in there. I have no idea. I am so far out of my comfort zone. I am sweating. Like, so he knew what was going on by the look in my eye, right? And it was almost just like, I just looked at him, and I'm just like, and I left, and I never came back. And that was when I dropped out of college. So yeah, school wasn't the best for me. I mentioned suicide and that, so I guess I could get back a little bit more into how I dealt with my suicidal tendencies. So I guess it started back in middle school when I was young. I got this tattoo to cover it a bit. It's a few scars on this side. It's so funny because I was so young actually. When I used to cut right here, but I was so young that my skin stretched, and all the scars are over here now. And I just think that that's the funniest thing, because it really shows me like just how much I've grown since then. Like, very literally, it's just like, hey bitch, remember when you were a kid and did stupid things? And I was just like, I put a tattoo over it. But no, it was weird because like, I guess I also found out that I had a high tolerance for pain because the way that I was introduced to cutting was stupid. It was so stupid. Like, I had a friend, and she was like emo. She wasn't like hardcore goth scene or emo. She took particles of all of them. But she was a Wiccan, and that piqued my interest. And also at the time I was a Baptist Christian, so my mother always was like, just be nice to her, you don't want to put a spell on you. So at the time I was very cautious around her also. So she was telling me about cutting, because she always would go to school with these fresh ass band-aids on her, and she would get all this attention, and people were like giving a shit about her life, I guess, and I was jealous. And it wasn't like, ah, oh, fuck you, bitch, I'm jealous. It was more so just like, I was like, well, how do people, like, I asked her, I was like, well, why do people, you know, do that? And she was just like, people don't listen to you unless you're dead. So, and I was just like, Jesus Christ, like, I don't think I want to die. She was just like, well, I mean, that's cool. And I was just like, huh. So I had another friend who also cut, and she was like, I cut for the attention. And she told me, she was like, horizontal for if you just want attention, straight down the line if you mean business. And I realized that my other friend was going straight down her wrist, and I was, and my other friend who just wanted attention was going horizontally. Now, at the time, young, dumb, and stupid, and I wanted attention, to be completely honest. So I was like, I don't want to die, so let's just do some horizontal cuts. And I remember taking like a regular kitchen knife and just, I didn't realize how thick human skin was, first of all. I also didn't realize that you shouldn't use, you know what, I'm not going to give you tips on how to cut yourself, but it was surreal, but I also realized that it felt good in a way. Like, it literally, this me felt good, and I was confused. So I was just like, maybe this means good things. Later down in life, I found out I am just like an external masochist. I only like external pain, piercings, tattoos, things like that. So that made more sense now, but as a kid, it was very, very confusing. But of course my mom found out, and she made me promise to stop. I remember at one point I told my grandma that I got hit with a rake. Like I told my grandma, I was like, no, don't. And like my friend was fucking around, and I got hit with a rake, and it made completely uneven slash marks on my arm. Like, just dumb kid shit. Like, but yeah, I might save the actual suicide attempts for a different video. But all of that together, basically led me to how I wound up being where I was when I was awake. And by awake, I mean by when I had my spiritual awakening. And that was when I was 20. And that led me to my escapism, because I would just run away into movies, books, TV, dreams, daydreams, anything to not be here. And that is probably, I'm sorry you had to see my foot. I am sorry. I apologize. I hate feet. But that is really probably the biggest thing I had to work on. I had to get out of my escapism. And I think marijuana helped a lot for me with that. And the reason why I say that is because as a lucid dreamer, when I smoke, I can't dream. So it really helps me to not always just want to stay in bed and dream, because I don't want to be in this reality. So that's another reason why I smoke, as well as it helps me with my ADHD and my depression. Currently, to completely just help make this, we can't forget about the past self, because she's important, but let's make new self and future self way better. And when I do that, the first thing I do, I breathe. Even when I'm getting irritated, when I feel a little sad, nervous, whatever it is, I take the biggest breath I can and just try and let it out. Because literally, if you just take 3 deep breaths, it can literally save your life. Like, the difference between cussing your boss out and keeping your job is 3 deep breaths. So it's just like, there is multiple different forms of meditation that I would love for people to know about, because I can't do this one, like the one, just sit still. I can't. It doesn't work for me. I know how important that method is, and I do still do it. I'm bad at it. So one of my favorite ones is the spinning one, or the dancing one. A little wild. Yoga is a form of meditation. I don't know if y'all have ever literally just moved your body and, like, you know what? I want to get into Tai Chi or Tai Bo. Which one is the one where you dance? Which one's dance fighting? I want to get into that one, because that's a form of meditation that's so on a different level that people who make fun of it literally just don't understand. But I also, this is one's really, really important. My boyfriend taught me how to do this one. Also, shout out to Mike Fate for making the song that is my intro. I love him. But he taught me how to separate my ego from myself. And that one was so hard because I had to learn the itty voice in my head. There's apparently two. There's your thoughts, and then there's your ego. My ego was a little bitch. Like, my ego was so afraid. My ego was so mean to me and everyone around me that I was afraid of her. Like, she was just so mean. Like, I know, now I'm going to be really, really honest with people. Because she knows my triggers. And whenever I start to, like, if I fail or I start to get sad or something, literally, her favorite line is, "That's why your daddy doesn't love you." And I can always tell when I'm getting better, because any other time when I was younger, instant fucking tears. Nope, I'm done. You've hit me in the heart. Why have you done this? But the more I'm saying, I was like, that's not even true. What are you talking about? Okay, forgive me. I had to fix and change my Skype because the wraparound wasn't working. But I can always tell when I'm getting better with my ego, because her insults hardly hurt my feelings anymore. The more that I literally can train myself and get to know myself, I can literally, like, that bitch's voice is even starting to sound different up here. She doesn't sound like me anymore. So it's just like, it's almost invigorating, because you literally get to see firsthand your personal growth. And that's like, it's so, people don't appreciate it. And I say that because I feel like we would have a lot more celebrations for little things if people were to be able to appreciate just how big self-love. When I do, because of course everybody does, they have bad days. When I do have bad days and my ego starts really, really, really getting to me, I talk to her like a child. And I don't mean it condescendingly. Like, sometimes if you speak very logically to children, if you just explain what's going on, they get it. And that's how I speak to my ego. I tell her, like, if I'm being maybe a brat, or I feel like, my biggest thing with me is I feel like I failed. That's what I hate. I hate failing. And that's another reason I don't accomplish a lot of things. Because I'd rather I don't want to, nope, I'm going to give up before I even start, because I don't want to fail. And that, when I fail at something, I literally have to be like, hey, it's okay. It's okay. I mean, I'm human, you're human. You're technically a consciousness, but I'm human, you're a consciousness. Sometimes, we fuck up. It's fine. I mean, do you want a penalty? We can give you a penalty if it literally makes you feel better. Like, would it make you feel better if we gave ourselves a penalty for not completing the task we said we would? Would it help our integrity? Or would it just make us feel bad? And then I have to talk these things out with myself. Otherwise, it would just be like, if you don't tell a kid what's going on, they're going to be like, hey, you know what, what's going on? It's mom, what's going on? And, it's going to keep nagging you, and it's going to drive you fucking insane. Just telling you. Another thing that I do, I speak up for things that bother me. I don't hold my tongue anymore. And that it is a phase in my life that I had to go through. And people are going to be like, well, Kayla, you've always said what you think. No, I haven't. I'd have a lot less friends. I have a lot less friends now. So, and the last thing I do, because I'm going to try to wrap this video up because it's getting long. The last thing I do is I talk to spirit. And I try to talk to spirit daily. I don't, because I'm going to be honest, I don't talk to spirit as much as I should. But I try to talk to spirit daily. And each time I do it, I'm getting better and better at it. Like, it's such an experience that I can't tell you about it. You have to experience it. So that is basically a small little summarization of some of my views on self-love. And I have to say some because there will always be more videos on this because I can't stop talking about it. So my video, and if you liked it, then like it, and if you really like it, then share it, and if you really, really, really like it, then subscribe to my channel. Try to put out new videos at least every month. I'm not gonna lie to you. Try to at least get a video out a month. At most, I'll try to do one every week. But I love and appreciate each and every one of you. Have a safe journey